Enter into a new dimension of gaming and unlock your gaming experience. Powerful and portable, with uncompromised graphics performance. The way you play will never be the same.
Hello and welcome to grand final day here at the XP Esports Rainbow Six High School League. My name is Blue Panda. Joining me to round things out here for the High School League, Cthulhu. We're coming down to the final day. We have a bit of a change in format, but it's a best of 3 one to close the whole season out.
Indeed, yeah. Look, a best of 3 is going to be one of the better ways to really show how is the endurance game here for both of the teams. So far, I mean, SEC Wolfpack has been leading the leaderboard overall, but TC Red has been showing a few signs of possible life here throughout the whole season. They've managed to take Wolfpack to an overtime last time we've seen them, so in a best of 3 format, well, they get even more chances to do so and maybe even cause an upset. So honestly, at this point, this is probably one of the more important days for both of the teams, given that no matter how good was or how bad was the performance throughout the whole season, grand finals will be deciding the actual best of the best of the best.
Yeah, we've seen them in a couple of different maps, so we know that there is some diversity in the map pool today. Obviously, a best of 3 format means that we're guaranteed a minimum of 2. We could see the full 3 come out depending on how the teams are feeling. But, I mean, it's a case of where are we heading? How could this all play out? So we might as well take a look at the map ban, see what was denied, what is going to be coming through. And look, on the whole, it makes for an interesting picture. Villa, Coastline, the initial bans. Cafe, Clubhouse, going to be our first 2 maps. And then to remove Consulate and Chalet, leaving us with Oregon, is an interesting choice.
Yeah, look, definitely interesting is one of the ways to really call it, because we are going essentially from the least familiar, I suppose, set of maps to being the decider being the most familiar for both of the teams, seeing that Oregon was, 3 out of 5 play days. We've seen it to be played out, whereas Cafe, I believe we've seen actually 1 play day of that happen. So curious what will happen and how will really the whole match unravel, because whilst I've mentioned that, yeah, TC Red was able to take Wolfpack to the full regulation and overtime as well, their performance was still pretty shaky overall, gotta say.
Yeah, it definitely felt like there were a number of opportunities where St. Edmunds were playing more for fun than, just to close out maps. They were playing to enjoy themselves on a couple of these maps. And go to Cafe first. It's another one that, look, we've seen them. We've seen them have a bit of fun on it. We saw them go for the full send strategies. They weren't playing like super duper serious. So, honestly, this could be the map that we do see Trinity College pick up.
100%, yeah. Look, I definitely think that if TC Red will have even a single chance of winning it, it is going to be after a full set of 3 maps. So a 2-1 scoreline is definitely going to be in place there. For SAC Wolfpack, I definitely think that they have all their power, all of the strength to really just make it a 2-0 and just pretty much call it a day, take the dub, and be happy for the rest of the day. But look, yeah, Cafe, I know for a fact that we are actually going to be starting over with ACC Wolfpack on attack for our first map. So It is going to be an interesting way for Wolfpack to start kicking things off, seeing as they were able to set up a really good momentum once they went on attack, especially on a map like Cafe, although defense, oddly enough, was a bit of a struggle fest for them, but given certain circumstances, I would imagine that they are a little bit more prepared for this one.
Well, you'd have to hope so. Coming into map number 1, these teams, they've had a bit of a time. We had, obviously, that extra week break, so there's probably a bit of extra prep work that could have come into this. Trinity College have on a number of occasions put themselves close to taking a map away, but at the moment, it's still, it's been a very one-sided affair. St. Edmunds have not really been challenged other than that one map that did go to OT, but look, Cthulhu, we shouldn't really waste any more time. We're waiting on the readies. Then we can throw it to the map video, give you a bit of a cheeky fly through of Cafe as to where we're going, and then jump on in. Predictions coming into this, given, the starting sides, do you reckon we're going to see that crazy full send at style out of St. Edmunds?
Yeah, look, St. Edmunds definitely are looking to do a full send for the map. It's one of those things that they are very proficient at, and yes, we are just waiting on, I believe it's actually SEC to actually give us the for the ready. Yeah, we're actually waiting for one of the players to call ready. But yeah, look, honestly, I would think that probably Cafe we are going to be seeing maybe something across the lines of maybe a 7-3, 7-4 in favor of Wolfpack, given the fact that look, Cafe definitely was a bit of a struggle for TC Red to keep themselves up in pace. Even on defense, whilst they had some really solid setups, I definitely rated some of the mirror setups I believe we've seen from them. Certain just timings, and it seems like maybe some of the communication issues were still prevalent in their composition. So we'll need to see how things will really work out for them. I would imagine that bans-wise, we could be also seeing some target bans to maybe come around, something maybe across the lines of even something like even an Ash ban, really, seeing as I believe it was either Revens or Don't Ask Because I Don't Know were the ones who were running the Ash, or like Ash/Zofia kind of combo, the entry. And if they are the ones who are getting outed initially, this could actually mean a few really huge things for Wolfpack.
Well, speaking of huge things, the thing you need to remember, we've had 2 weeks break since our last week of High School League, and in that time, North Star patch has been released. So we're seeing changes to gun attachments, spray patterns even, and how they're affected. So this is a vastly different environment these teams. No bullet holes! Thank Christ, no bullet holes coming in. We're not going to have to deal with any shenanigans like that. We see, differences in smoke play. There's all sorts of changes that have come through. Malusi even, no longer as strong as she once was. So this is a different environment these teams are going to be coming into, talking to certain people, seeing how they're feeling about these changes. Some people, not the biggest of fans. I myself have messed around with some of those new spray patterns with the attachments. Makes for an interesting time. You got to relearn some of that muscle memory as well. So definitely could be something that if Trinity College have been working hard, putting in that prep time, it could be that they are a little bit more ready coming into this matchup.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, some of the changes, like even say the mirror with the Maestro, with the whole cracked screen change that did came around as well, could also be affecting even something like the bans, because even in my personal experience so far throughout the patch, it's much easier to now just rather flat out just shift W straight up to a mirror window, punch it, you deny a heap of information, and you force the mirror window to be popped open. So theoretically, whereas previously you would need something like a Hibana or even like any kind of a hard breaching charge to open up that window, no longer you need to do it, you just deny the information by punching it in, there you go. And same goes for the Maestro cams as well. So few things can really be changed here, and the North Star patch definitely introduced quite a fair few things. Probably my main curiosity, or rather favorite part, was the muzzle attachments change that you actually mentioned, because with the fact that now there's a very good distinction between the functionality of certain attachments, like say compensator now only negates the horizontal recoil, or majority of it, whereas Flash Hider reduces the overall burst recoil. It certainly helps to figure out exactly what you need for some of the guns. For example, like Buck's C8, it's now can be turned back into a laser beam, because the only thing you really need to do is just yank the mouse down and you got yourself a perfect recoil. Same can be said even for the Ella's Scorpion now. We're back to it being in the right hands a laser beam of death, and it's a scary prospect, to say the very least, especially when you play against a very experienced, quick-leaning Ella that pretty much leaves you no chance whatsoever at even contesting with her.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've messed around with even the likes of the SMG11. Noticeably, the spray is a little bit easier. It's not, you have to be on the job, otherwise you all of a sudden aiming at the roof. It's a lot more manageable. It's a lot more versatile. You can see those newer players who struggle with it actually bring it into the fold. We see more of those comps coming out. It would be interesting to see if either of these teams look to incorporate it tonight. But we are still waiting on the ready ups in chat.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, look, it is a case of, the high school guys, they want to make sure that they're fed and ready to go coming in this matchup. Got to get the G Fuel in them as well. But look, we're coming into Cafe first. Of all maps, this is where things could potentially spiral out of control. It's one that, it does have a certain play style. You need to approach it a certain way. It's not like you can go, just throw the strat book out the window, just play for the frags. You need to have some setups in place. You need to be playing some of those key positions around the map. Like, you're not going to be going second floor and then just giving up on the top floor. You want that verticality denied. You want to take control of it for yourself. If you give that up, you're probably in for a bad time. So, look, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some less conventional strats, but they're still going to be in line with the mainstream. But we are ready to go. The readies are in chat. Kasulu, we're heading straight into Cafe.
Exactly.
Quick little fly through before we jump into the map. Give you a bit of a showcase of where we're going to be heading for map number 1. Trinity College versus St. Edmunds, to try and see who takes away that big first place prize.
Yeah, look, it's definitely an exciting prospect here for both of the teams because, look, for one of them, this season definitely has been quite rough, to say at the very least. For the others, it's definitely been quite a bit of a breeze as of lately. But look, this is where it all makes the difference, really. Honestly, ban phase for Cafe. We've talked about certain picks. The North Star may be affecting the general picks. And straight off the bat, it's an ace ban here for TC Red. They full well know how impactful that operator can be. And especially with the way how Wolfpack been playing him on a very aggressive note.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention the AK-12 is just going to become more integral in these setups. Not to mention that, even before the punch-out change that was made to mirror windows, he got given that buff of being able to destroy them. But Jackal, it seems, is the response.
Okay.
Out of St. Edmunds College, the Wolfpack. Do we see the Spaniard duo banned out here is the question, though.
There is a possibility for that, although I think that the chances of that now are much smaller, given that Mira now being given a little bit of a, well, not a little bit, but quite a substantial nerf in her utility. But we'll have to see in a brief second. And well, there we go. Yeah, both Spaniards are out of the equation still. But already seeing the likes of Thatcher now being able to slip in through is a curious prospect, seeing as the SAS operator has been bullied for quite a fair few seasons now.
Yeah, it's not the most integral operator on this map. There are still ways to play around it, but yeah, having it available, why would you not pick it up? It just makes things a little bit more streamlined when it comes to the attack. And already, the defensive ban coming out here for Trinity College. Double A's, it would seem. But, I mean, it's seen its fair share of play on this map as well. Hugely effective, especially up on that third floor. Being able to deny so many of those angles, so much utility, it can make for some more aggressive holds even when it comes to backstop.
Of course, yeah, look, definitely the Rooney pick, or rather ban, has caught me off guard, but it's certainly going to be allowing for some very peculiar picks. And straight off the bat, we actually do see Thatcher ban to come around, backed up by Finka and Twitch, nonetheless, leaving Sledge and Habana to follow up. On the side of defense, also a few very curious picks, seeing the Melusi and Echo picks. Well, Echo is going to be a 6th pick. Thank you very much. Back to the Maestro. Mute Legion Vigil. I'm liking actually both setups from both of the teams because both sides have plentiful amount of utility and plentiful amount of ability to be as aggressive as they want.
But the interesting thing, obviously, with it again, it's a case of North Star changes. Malusi not as strong as she once was. You don't need bulletproof. It's no longer bulletproof when you're in that active radius. All they have to do is push a little bit further, then you can shoot out the Banshee. And then Maestro, you can punch out the glass on those evil lines as well. So this is a case of utility. It's strong, but not nearly as strong as it once was. And already we start to see this very defensive, totally stylish setup from Trinity College. We're not going to see that extension into Washroom. We're not going to see that aggressive contest in the Cigar Lounge, as it were. Full reinforcement of backstock. They're probably going to hunker down there with that mute pairing as well. So definitely, it's going to be interesting to see how this Thatcher plays in.
No wall reinforcement yet on the Cocktail Lounge as well, which is leaving me a little bit curious, given that usually you would want to have at least one of the wall patches to be reinforced for some cover, but doesn't look like that is going to be the play here for the time being. So far, it looks like Wolfpack will just try to take control of the rooftop and the hatches and then try to maybe go for a few contests. Now, here's where the initial issue for TC Red might come around. Because the push is coming here, all of these walls are going to be pretty much shootable. So, barely any cover for the Maestro of Milo. And that means, well, not really an easy time to really hold, so he will need to rely on his teammates to go in for a bit of a crossfire.
Another interesting point. No Jaeger, no Whamai whatsoever, so nades could come into play here. They've got don't ask because I don't know. And those EMPs are going to be completely uncontested here. Interesting, we see this utility, the one committed onto. Frag grenade tossed deep in towards backstop. Tags up both Little J and Chility, but nothing massive so far. But that's a big opening available for SEC.
Indeed. Another thing to really worth mentioning is that the North Star actually brought on board a change to Finka. Now her boosts, whenever the health points are lower than 100, they stay permanent after the boost. So she pretty much becomes now the new doc for the attack, although, that's an issue.
That is just like crippling to the mental. Yeah, we're going to have to see some cheeky 2x Pyro plays to enable them to get through that. Is that in the right place? That might make things even more uncomfortable. You've got to surely... No, yeah, I was wondering. It was just a pixel too far to the right. I thought that was going to be the case.
That is unfortunate for Maiden's Ave, though. This is going to be a perfect setup, seeing as, well, he won't be pushed anytime soon. There is a push by Thatcher that did trigger the goo mine, and finally we do see the debris now being ridden off, but only 2 X-Kairos charges remain, so not a whole lot of breaching to be done, only maybe for a brief peek hole. Maiden's Ave pulling his best cosplay of Pronwin. We'll be trying to go in for a contest right now, and bit of an unfortunate timing. Not is there to shut him down. Fantastic call out and fantastic pre-fire. Another gunfight does erupt, but to no avail just yet.
Well, the other interesting thing that we now get to see in terms of the update from North Star is, well, when you hit the extended hunt, speaking of, I was just going to be talking about info, but it's all SEC storming onto the site, taking charge. Revan's just doubling up there with Honk Rider Fall as well. A triple even for a flawless round to kick things off. I was going to talk about how with the new North Star patch, the HUD shows what you were doing once you were relegated to cams or whatever, if you're watching a teammate, if you're watching drones. We didn't get a chance to see that because Wolfpack were in on the site and did not drop a single player.
Exactly, yeah. They didn't even really need any kind of utility, it seems. Only they needed Revens to just go in for a flank through White Stairs and get that dub. Very nicely done. Bar and Cocktail Lounge will be, though, a retry for TC Red. They will need to keep up their morale because, look, we've seen that time and time again. The first few rounds being a good indication of how could the match go, and if that is the case here for this map, number 1 in the Grand Final of Highschool League, look, a few questions are going to be raised here, and none of them are favoring TC Red.
Well, if you keep, what's the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Look, we are only in the second round, so we're yet to see the signs of insanity showing here for TC. But it's still early days. At the moment, we do, see a bit of a change. That Echo is going to make its way through. Stuck plus that Mozzie as well. So mute Mozzie combo coming into play, denying that information. But again, it's a case of we do have the Thatcher on the board. How much is this going to achieve? Revens also has the shock drones as well. Can let's clear out some of that utility. This could prove less than fortunate for TC Red in this defense.
I mean, think of it this way, really. We didn't see Not use any of his EMP grenades, to my knowledge, throughout the first round, right? Then Reven's, yeah, Reven's probably going to be the main threat here, but because there's now the Mozzie drones, at the very least, the general drone economy is now going to be very scarce for SEC Wolfpack. So there are a few pluses that are going in favor of TC Red, but you did manage. You do make a good point here, being that, well, it's still such a strong combination of two attackers that it is going to be quite difficult to keep them all at bay.
Also, no Jaeger again, no real coverage, no contest. Those mute jammers are going to be spotted from the skylight, so they can march on and get that backstop wall open should they want to. At the moment, Player and Cigar playing around the couch. It's going to be made in Zaf again, of course. No aggressive pixel angle being contested here with a shield or anything like that, but look at SEC, they're taking the time, they're droning out, they're looking to get themselves in aggressively so they can take control of the bomb site once again. And if it's anything like it was in that last round, it could be a very accelerated take as well.
Definitely. I mean, we're just about to get the drones in to make sure that we are going to be seeing a replay of of round number 1. Quick drones to make sure that we are getting all the information possible here for the rest of the attack. The drops looking like they're just about to commence. Revens is already on a flank. Once again, White Stairs, there is some presence, and now finally this time Honkai is there to make a refrag. So that's an improvement that has been done by TC Red to deny that flank, but they are not yet knowledgeable of the presence of my name Kevin, but I believe the drone should have spotted, or at the very least should have heard some play, and there we go, yeah.
Honkai drifting out also would have given the game away, but prone on the floor. Like, yeah, you're going to be hard punished if there's a Finker there, not to mention the nano boost being in play. The shield going to be spotted, but Kevin just drifts around the corner, finds a follow-up. Do they know that Milo is deep on cocktail at the moment? No, Kevin's just going to pull off, go for the pull out for that, you know, little stinger in his leg. But for now, the rest of the team, SEC, they're going to march on and get Cigar control. Zaf just absolute full sends. And somehow Kevin not going to be able to find the kill. Is spotted, is downed as well. Zaf going to be able to get the equalizer there.
Yeah, we're back to a 3v3, which is definitely much better compared to what we've seen before. But right now, Contain Breach completely unaware of the prone Melusi. No, punished instantly. And just like that, it's a very unfortunate turnout, although still 2 remaining SAS operators are still there to try to maybe make a comeback here. The Echo is still there. There's the frag onto Chility, all down to Maiden Zaf to try to clutch it out. Post-plan situation is going to be quite a difficult one to contest.
Zaf has already got 2. Could look for the full quad here to clutch up. The round is slowly walking through. Cigar not on the job though. Now 33 in hand does shut it down. SEC extend their lead. They find themselves another in the post-plant. But look, it was a much better round coming out of Trinity College.
Definitely, yeah, look, much closer performance. Definitely some adjustments been made in the right direction. And TC Red do acknowledge the danger where it usually comes from, but maybe a tad bit too late on certain places. Fireplace is going to be the next choice for the defense for round number 3. And it's, funnily enough, it's Fireplace and Mining rather than Reading, which is one of those least preferred sites to be used for the defense. But I would imagine that TC Red do come in at least somehow prepared, given that they are changing certain operators around. Honkai deciding to bring in the Bandit out of all of them instead of the Yellow, so quite a change in the role as well.
Bandit and Cade being brought here. It's an interesting pairing, especially on a site like this. Most of that utility can be cleared up. They brought a Jaeger this time, so looking to try and deal with any nade play that's coming through. Not that there's been a huge amount of it. Again, it's a case of Thatcher's on the board. You can throw that in, potentially through the red stairs window, get control of that corridor, blow open an entry there. You can tuck in behind the display cabinet. There's just so much that can go wrong here, and there's not nearly enough coverage out of the ADSs. no vertical control either established at the moment. Yeah, I think that claw can be spotted from the window even.
Yeah, bit of a misplay so far. No presence up top set up. Maybe one will be done later, but it just feels so odd, really, to see this very site to be brought on board. No contention yet, so safe to say that it has been, for the time being, abandoned and completely forgotten, which could be a huge punish point for SEC Wolfpack to use here against TC Red.
Well, I mean, look, we did question whether we would see some unconventional strategies. Obviously, this is a high school league, so they are more often than not doing their own thing. TC Red has, they've shown us some unique strategies which have a few times worked and given us a real show. But SEC, they are very cool, calm, and collected for the most part. Aren't going to give up those advantages where they don't need to. They have shown amazing adaptability on the fly as well.
Yeah, that's one thing to really worth mentioning. The sheer amount of adaptability that has been brought on board. Might just be seeing that as well to be attempted on the fly here as well. Chility trying to leave Soul Hold. No, pardon me. He does have Honkai as well to try to back him up. Although the drone's already starting to relay information. No presence whatsoever in the machinery, but there is a lone bandit that is going to be trying to contest those positions, and already instantly, the moment he peeks, punished by naught.
Yeah, look, you don't want to be contesting that window. It's just not going to give you the advantage you need. Bandit Battery was able to be spotted from the mining window as well. So they now have the ability to breach it. There's a cave core, I believe, or did they change that around? I think that may just be a single Bandit Battery tucked into the corner. But EMP on Kevin as well, going to shoot out the camera that was there moments ago. They've got control of the museum entrance. They can now push on into the site, get that plant down, contain breach, find Zaf. They're just stringing it together here. MJ has to contest a very, very tough spot. Chility deep in train as well. They are almost locked out of the site. Full 5 players left alive for SEC. They get the plant down. They're going to get the vertical control as well. This is bleak. Milo to fall at the hands of Don't Ask, because I don't know. This is that vertical control that you need to establish. What finds Little J? Frag grenade tossed in. Chility headshot to Don't Ask, because I don't know. And they get themselves another flawless round here on Cafe.
Absolutely stunning performance here, honestly. SEC Wolfpack know exactly what to do, where to do, and how to punish their opponents for each and every small mistake that they've been making. Whereas I feel round 3 been definitely quite a misplay in general for the site picks, for the position picks. But maybe kitchen service and cooking will be a different turnout, or maybe even once we switch around to a different. Well, now pardon me, we did actually already switch over to a different site, but match point is in play here. SEC Wolfpack 1 round away from scoring themselves the first map win.
And those of you that are wondering, obviously coming into the grand finals, we have had a format change, best of 3, and it is a bit of a super day here at XP Esports because we have the XP Esports Women's League starting after this. So we are playing ranked format here. So it is going to be, 4th round that is the charm unless you go to overtime. SEC 1 round away from closing this one out flawlessly on Cafe Dostoevsky. And the way they've been doing it, rather convincing. Only 3 deaths so far this match.
Yeah, look, it's definitely been an interesting matchup so far. I mean, you look at Nord, at Don't Ask, 4 frags for themselves. Kevin Revens with 3 follow-up and contain breach, whereas on the side of TC Red, unfortunately, a bit of a quiet game, although still a few very valiant efforts here and there. 1 more round for them to try to keep themselves afloat in this very matchup on attack. It has been a bit of a difficult time for them in the previous matchup, so it's definitely not the most favorite turnout, although we've seen some very crazy plays from them.
Milo's making sure that no one is going to threaten their spawn. We do see a bit of a run out over towards Pillar Door. Nothing gained, unfortunately, by Revens. Now kicking things off on their first defense. Cafe, an interesting one. Milo's going to get it in the right place this time, outside of small bait window. Changes his mind. Goes to the other side, the eastern side of the window. 30 seconds, 40 seconds almost already. There's a player on the table in Small Bake as well. That could have gone horribly wrong if he was caught placing that Claymore moments earlier.
100%, yeah, that could have been a huge misplay, but Honkai actually opens up the scoreline onto Revens, the man who's been an absolute menace to deal with for quite a while for TC Red, now finally out of the equation. Not already been tagged up as well by just over a quarter HP, but that's been negated thanks to the dart of my name Kevin. So 4v5 is still a very workable play, minute 46 on the clock. And no, not really as much of the progression as we probably would have wanted to see from TC Red to be brought on board here.
Yeah, we head to the second half. What could be the final final round of the map? Sorry. Cafe Dostoevsky Zap spots the player over towards VIP. Not going to give him anything just yet. Has Kevin in support. Still 2 of those stim rounds to go through. Chility walking in. Deals with the bandit batteries that are positioned towards service entrance. Little J going to be tagged. There's a player who's followed up. The trade comes as Chility able to take Contained Breach down as well. But these numbers are just slipping away from SEC. This could be what TC Red need to bounce back.
Indeed, yeah, look, already only 2 players do remain. It's not, and don't ask because I don't know. 2 players that have been popping up quite frequently on the kill feed, and right now, oh, don't ask. Trying to just do his best to just keep up the suppressive fire to force the attackers to just stay back a little bit longer, because right now those swings need to happen, those peaks need to happen, and the frags as well. Chility fumbling around a little bit because right now Kai goes in for the swing, does get the frag onto Chility, and this is all just starting to fall apart. Only 30 seconds do remain here between the 2 teams.
Nitro no longer there. Has been tossed. Actually, no, it's in play, I think. I don't know. There's 3 in pocket. Not's going to find a follow-up to equalize the score. Is Milo taken down? Maiden Zaf and Honkai, they're in a bit of trouble. Zaf falls to the hands of the MP7. And don't ask because I don't know, shuts it out. The 2v4 coming in a flurry of kills for SEC, who take the map very handily.
There we go, yeah, 4-0. Very clean victory here for SEC Wolfpack. The first map concludes very quickly here for us. And look, yeah, that's 1 map down, 1 more to go for SEC Wolfpack if they want to make this snappy. I mean, look at the scoreboard. It's a very even Steven kind of play. Not and don't ask. There's a reason why they are on the top of the leaderboard, is because they have been performing to the absolute top of their performance. Just like that, it's a wrap for Cafe. We do still have Clubhouse and possibly Oregon should we need 3rd map, but at this point, at this pace, look, Oregon feels even more distant now, I feel.
Yeah, it seems that the Wolfpack are coming in. They're looking to speed around this whole competition. 4-0 on Cafe is no mean feat, especially given they started on the attack. They only played the 1 defense round, and it looked a bit dicey. You know, Trinity College, they came in, took some big kills. Unfortunately for them, don't ask, and I don't know, because I don't know. And Nort on the defense, formidable, to say the very, very least, as they do clutch it out. So we are going to throw it to a bit of a break while we get ourselves ready for map number 2. Clubhouse going to be coming up in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the XP Esports Rainbow Six High School League. I am Blue Panda Cthulhu. We just came off the back of a flawless win going the way of St. Edmunds College on Cafe Dostoevsky. Up next, we have Clubhouse, one of the most integral maps in a competitive team's map pool. This is it. Back to basics here, really. It's going to be the go-to map for most teams. What are we expecting?
Look, I definitely feel like we might be seeing a little bit more fight from TC Red. They've managed to show us some good adaptability from time to time, but really, unfortunately for them, couldn't really withstand the general onslaught of SEC Wolfpack. And yeah, honestly, Clubhouse might be a very interesting prospect to say at the very least. We do actually have the readies from both of the sides, so as a matter of fact, let's actually have a quick look at the Clubhouse as well. Because look, let's not waste really any time. It's time for the grand final to see which team will be able to make it work, to be able to come out victorious here, because for SEC, St. Edmunds Christian Brothers College, they are on one map advantage.
One map advantage, series point as well. If they win this, they win the whole thing. They take away all the prizing, and they get to, proclaim themselves champion of the XP Esports High School League Season 2, the grand final of all things coming through. Clubhouse with SEC starting on the defense. That could be a daunting prospect for Trinity College.
Yeah, look, Trinity College definitely need to keep their mental in check, because otherwise it is going to be a very unfortunate prospect to possibly happen. Jackal to be taken out straight away. SEC Wolfpack definitely looking to make sure that their roam game is not going to be tarnished in any shape or form.
What is the response? Do we see that Thatcher coming through? They are starting off the attack, so it will be Ace once again. We could see a full repeat of those bans coming here in map number 2. Look at funds in chat. Defensive bans. Do we see the Aruni come through once again? It's what TC Red banned on the last map. We then could see that Mirror coming through again for SEC on their defensive ban. It's a bandit.
Okay. Curious, to say the very least.
The controller is going back in.
Kevin, no. That's BM. Please.
Oh boy. Final ban coming through for the Wolfpack. What do we see? Is it going to be a Mirror? Is it going to be a Cade? Who knows? Maverick and Thatcher let through. So Cade, minimal impact. Bandit as well. Legion is going to be the call. So SEC will be taking him out. No goo mines. Nothing to slow down the play. Interesting, given that they start off on the defense.
Yeah, definitely a curious outcome of this whole ban phase. Whilst the attacking side ban was relatively easy to understand why they were doing it, the defense definitely brought a few question marks here, to say the very least, because both Bandit and Legion out of the equation is, look, it's definitely an oddity, to say the very least.
Yeah, I mean, we know, we have seen week in, week out, there is no dedicated Maverick player on either team, so it wasn't crazy. It wasn't expecting anything like that. Thatcher through, they bring the Thermite as well, so the old duo, the OG Breaches, plus the Hibana secondary high breach paired with the Finker and the Zofia. So they got all the tools they need. On the side of SEC, though, that is a scary defensive lineup.
Oh, yeah. It is, yeah, definitely quite a spooky one. The defense for Wolfpack to introduce both of the French operators, Doc and Rook, to be brought on board, both with MP5, so plenty of the ability for the long-range engagements, plus not with the, I would assume that's the Org as well in his hands, and Valkyrie and Vigil to finish up the lineup. Everything about this screams just bring all sorts of aggression, as much as possible of flexible info gathering, plus the ability to deny any damage to the health, plus any damage attempts at damaging the constructions of the wall. So overall, looking pretty good. Oh my lord, why?
Well,
so many questions, so little answers.
Yeah, look, it's going to be the TCSG in hand for the Cade of Naught. No Org. And Rebens going for an aggressive run out. That's bold, to say at the very, very least, from Stock. He's also wearing uniform. Unfortunate, but it is what it is at the end of the day.
At least it's one of those uniforms that is easy to recognize.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You'll get it. It's not a case if you aren't going to see him.
Exactly.
Uniform nonetheless. So, Con Push is the call that has been made. They have opened that wall again. Unfortunately,
Bomb has been located.
not quite the right placement to get a, crouch hole open.
Yeah, look, Zeph would probably be a little bit upsetty about that kind of turnout, but regardless of that, at least the breach has been done, so you have a few more peak points from that spot. Interesting camera by contain breach to try to gather some outside information. Won't be actually netting anything, but Ravens on the flank could actually introduce a few interesting intricacies to this push.
Kevin over towards master bedroom side as well, but no immediate call from TC Red as to how they want to get in. They do recognize that no crouch hold could present a bit of a problem. The one definitely interesting thing that I see is there's still an Artilla Claw in hand for Nort. He hasn't thrown it out. Can still utilize it wherever. Zaf looking across from master bedroom, but at the moment it feels that maybe, just maybe, TC Red are their own worst enemy in this situation. They've got themselves into Logi at the very least, so they can start to mount things from over that position. But Revens and Kevin both lurking, looking to find them.
Exactly. Oddly enough, we didn't see Honkai to try to peek the window, which could have actually caught Revens off guard, but instead it's actually going to be Not to open up the scoreline, and that is on a CCTV window, a very disgusting, very difficult to contest angle, and instantly a dome destroyed. So that's the diffuser drop. So now the next new objective for the attack is to try to retrieve the diffuser, and that is going to be quite a difficult task, given that Contain Breach should now have the crossfire. Kevin is about to make a rotation, but he's about to get pressured as well from 2 different spots.
Bit of spray through into Logi, but nothing found just yet. Revan's going to be hit with a concussion. Kevin tagged up low, but he's a dog. He can heal himself up. That's the wonderful thing about the operator. One stim in, Revan's going to find the kill on Agility. So they are still trying to pressure on through Con. They have the angle. No, Kevin is just close, tucked in the doorway. They now know he's there, but he's healthy as anything. He's going to be put down, finished off by Honkai with that swing, looking to prone through the angle into Con. Don't ask, because I don't know. He's found Milo.
5 seconds to
I do believe they left that wall soft, or has he just swung it in the air? No, I don't think they've just straight swung it. SEC looking to continue that aggression that we saw in map 1.
Indeed, yeah. Not really much to talk about that. It's just kind of it. SEC now playing more so like a death match this whole grand final, rather than how TC Red trying to make it as tactical as they can. Unfortunately, the fact that Maiden Zaf wasn't able to make a clean opening introduced a unnecessary disadvantage for them, and essentially waste of time was there, and well, the rest is pretty much history. Gym and Bedroom is going to be the next choice. The confidence of Wolfpack is showing here, bringing straight away the side that is usually being considered a tertiary side, or the one where you usually give the chance to the attack to score a point, will be brought on board as a second one.
Well, Gym Bedroom, it's a bomb site that presents its own intricacies and setups that you need to pull through. But with a Cade on board, it's about getting that effective EMP grenade out, trying to deny any chance of a Cade trick. And with just the Hibana, interesting that it's the Thermite they change out rather than the Hibana, which has already presented problems to TC Red. That's a bold call to be making.
100%, yeah, look. I'm still a little bit curious about some of those choices, but obviously the decision to bring in somebody like an Ayana as well does make sense, seeing as she does bear the frag grenades now as well. Unlike, say, operators like Finger, who had her frag grenades pretty much taken away.
Dog and Finger. Yeah, I had frag grenades, not anymore.
Not anymore, wow, but
what is this?
Look, just, yeah, one way to contest early on, and well, if he would have waited a little bit longer actually and just paced himself in that run out, he could have actually scored himself at least one of the frags. So valiant effort, but just a little bit off on timing.
Like it would have been absolutely filthy. I think that would have been the mental just absolutely chalked out of TC Red if they found a frag. But for the moment, still all 10 players left up and available. I don't ask because I don't know. They've spread over towards CCTV. They have got presence in the garage as well, but there's limited reinforcements that have been put down. Still 4 left in pocket.
Yeah, look. It's definitely going to be an interesting prospect to say at the very least. Not possibly could have been droned out, but should be now spotted by the hologram, so that's one thing. If he is going to be rushed, this could be a successful frag for Honkai. Because right now he's actually the only one who is holding the gym. But oddly enough, the cloak should be there enough to protect him at least from the info gathering. But more drones are being funneled down the very same position. This time though, the opening is clean, so at the very least we do have an entry point for the attack.
Yeah, I mean, a difference. There's a big difference between should have been spotted and was spotted. As what I can definitely attest to in playing Rainbow Six Siege. Minute 20 left on the clock, though. Again, still 10 healthy players left on the cards here to try and contest this. They have one opening through into that gym corridor, gym hallway. Should they look to press it? For now, Concrete playing out on the suicide belt. He almost gets caught by Don't Ask, because I don't know. Almost punished there, but for the moment, this is the least violent round we've seen so far in this best of 3.
We talk about it, but already we do see Honkrai frag out, get refragged as well by Contain Breach. Another frag by Revens to dish out some damage, but not yet enough frag worth. The Chility is down some health. Not is down some health, but will be healed up a little bit more. Funnily enough, Revens is actually now all cut out, same as Contain Breach. But as of now, really not much information. There is a little bit of a crossfire being done. Little J should be holding an angle. No, instead it's Milo actually does land a headshot. Same goes for Kevin. The man is now downed, and it's all down to Revens, oddly enough.
Yeah, all those stim rounds we used by Kevin, so he doesn't have the opportunity to pick himself back up. He finished off there in the end. Little J does fall. Revens on the hunt, looking for even more. What can he find? Sprays good. Chility falls, finds himself a third. Brings it down to the 1v1, and Milo, left alone in Master, just rotates over towards the bomb chassis. Revens has to play this angle very, very keenly. Could rotate out, goes to the pre-buy, walks in, and just finds it. Gets the kill. He's going to go and confirm the 2 remaining, a big quad. Knows where the diffuser is, of course, having spotted it. My lord, Revens, what a round.
What a round indeed. Look, being able to play off the fact that TC Red ran into the frost mats as well and didn't drone them out is a severe misplay, to say the very least, by TC Red, and a huge play by Revens, to say the very least. The man looked like it was not very favorable for him. 1v4 in a brief moment turned into a 1v1, and just like that was able to just absolutely deny the win for TC Red, even though they were literally a frag away from scoring finally and breaking the streak that so far Wolfpack has.
I mean, back from the brink doesn't even begin to cover it. He stole that one well and truly, as we do head down to the basement. Don't ask, because I don't know, on the pulse this time. All the tools on board to make this one a very unpleasant round for TC Red, as has been the momentum so far for SEC. They look to carry on making things less than comfortable. This could be them moving on to match series point if they pick this one up. But Revens, look at him, 6-0-0.
Yeah, look. Revens just being, well, possibly has the chance to be a reverse Agent 007, which is a rarity nowadays, even rarer than the actual 007. But yeah, look, it's that last round definitely has to be a tilter, one way or another, because there's no way that you can come out of that kind of round without being angry at the fact that you just lost a 1v4 and just allowed a single Kaid, not even like a full-on fragging op like a Bandit or Jaeger or even Womai, to be able to just flat out outgun a Zoff, a Thatcher, a Hibana. All of those guns have higher DPS than the AUG.
I mean, not to mention, you know, that there was a health disparity of what, about 60? Milo was almost full health. Revens was sitting 30-35 if he was lucky. And still be able to pull that one out is kind of nutty. Just swings aggressively behind the bomb chest. He has all the info he needs and is just able to take it away. Kevin playing around Dirt Tunnel. No surprises there whatsoever. The healthiest player and the most aggressive one at that. Going to be able to stim himself up should he take an unfavorable fight. But look at this. They position themselves, looking to get these hatches, looking to get the job done. Secondary Hardbreach gadget already committed, so it's now on Maiden's Ave. If they lose him, which, I mean, Nort is aggressively holding this kitchen window, they could find themselves in a bit of trouble.
Indeed, already some information actually being relayed over. Onkrai, I believe, has been spotted. Funnily enough, actually drops down. While the rest of the team has bailed out on the push, the man decides to very bravely push in, and don't ask because I don't know, should already full well knowing where the push might be happening. Tempted with that C4. We'll be spotting one up close and personal, but Zaf is already there to make a frag.
Well, he's not going to be punished like he could have been, not the one to take the L in that situation. My name Gibbon. So he's going to answer back with a kill onto Milo. Still has the stims, going to keep himself healthy. Honkai just looking to contest, but Contain Breach takes down Zaf. No more hard breaches left available. Little J going to be the one to equalize. These frags are just dropping both sides. Nice, because I don't know, it could be one of the few players on site that can actually contest this. Gonna go try and swing around that armory door. Does get one. Also gets the player on the defuse. Runs himself back into church while Honkai is busy looking deeper into the bomb site. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, look, that is a severe misplay. At the very least, don't ask because I don't know, will be slightly punished, but that is such a minuscule trade comparative to the sheer impact that that pulse made. Look, I'm not too sure. I think at this point, just all the comms have been shut down for TC Red because there's no way that in any shape or form was not watched over and that push was just like that allowed.
Well, yeah, look, he not only he's swinging, he kills the player watching the planter. He kills the planter. Honkai nowhere to be seen. Unfortunate, like it was just miscommunications. Those tense moments, and look at that, coming straight into the attack. We have Kevin sitting on the blitz, not on the Maverick, so we aren't going to have to worry about any disparities with Maverick play. But look, this is not only is it map point, this is series point for SEC.
Yeah, match point, series point, championship point. All of the points really are here. Looking forward for SEC Wolfpack. The introduction of Blackbeard as well to just add a little bit more BM, I suppose, to the whole lineup because not only, like you said, the Blitz is in play, the BB is there to cover up, possibly if mixed together, would have been an absolutely indestructible duo to really play with, but we'll have to see how will that be really played out. Slightly more conventional lineup for TC Red's defense, although now they are on their possibly final round. This is the one that they will need to win if they want to stay in the competition for a little bit longer. 3 rounds in a row if they want to even contest for a possible win on this map. But yeah, all of it so far looks like an incredibly tall order to really deal with.
On top of that, if SEC win this, it's a flawless grand finals where they will not have dropped a single map, which could be absolutely huge for the momentum of them going into any upcoming seasons for the high school league as well. Kevin on the charge, Blitz, and Blackbeard stuck through here. They have a Maverick, they have the tools they need to contest that CCTV breach, but look at this. Kevin, he does not care. Milo is tucked up in the corner of rafters. If they can get rid of him, it's just going to be a straight contest into the site, and there we go. And does Milo find the head? That's what you need. Oh, just a second too late on the shot. He's going to try and rotate himself, but heavily punished by the P12 of Kevin, and he gets swung on by yet another player. Childy finds that kill into Revens. Elsewhere, as they were pushing into the con, it seems, finds the player on the rafters, jump through. Milo, luckily, able to capitalize on Honkai, retreating back into the bomb site.
Huge play. Although, looked very, very wonky at the very beginning. They were able to make it work. Chility now heavily tagged, and Milo just above 25 HP. The rest of the roster still looking very healthy. So overall, yeah, look, Not is going to try to maybe make a play here, but he is all on his lonesome. Contain Breach is still droning out and still trying to just gather some form of information, so maybe a frag grenade to be used there to try to maybe drain some utility is there, but apart from that, really, frag grenade comes out. It does actually get rid of both of the utilities, so quick breach, but don't ask because I don't know, is going to be in play here.
That could have been rough. The foot angle was open. If the frag grenade had landed a little bit deeper, don't ask could have been the one to catch it there. that bowled from naught, but it does work. They get the breach open. He's now looking to jiggle peek around that rafters position. Does he spot it? Does he see it? Yeah, one tap. Good night, Honkai. Look, you can't be sitting there for that long.
Can't be sitting like that and all exposed. instantly punished. Not about to go in for a swing into a bit of a crossfire, which could cost him his life, although Milo looking to play a very passive side of that crossfire. Contain breach, looking to maybe help with that crossfire. If not, will try to keep on positioning himself at a crouch height. So there are possibilities, but 36 seconds remaining. It is a difficult task, even for Wolfpack, to keep themselves up. Don't ask, because I don't know. Still yet to make an injury, and this is where that push needs to happen. That disruption needs to be in play. Contain breach does land a headshot, and Zaf does fall. The plant needs to happen. There's another one. There's not grabbing himself a double, and it is not looking too good.
No, Little J and Chility have maybe 10 health between them, and don't ask because I don't know, is pushing himself up red. Little J and Cash has been spotted. It's not just walks on through.
Wait, the plant.
They have to go for the plant. Yeah, don't ask. He gets himself in. Chility was running. He thought he was going to be able to run down the clock, but now unfortunately puts him in a post-plant situation with minimal health at best. Flash and white screen. He is very much spotted and scouted. They know exactly where he is. The Velt cam's not going to do much for them, and the player top red swings past the end with such low health. Oh my lord, I don't know how he escaped that without dying.
Yeah, well, not for long, I do feel, because right now, another swing could be pretty much deadly. Even just a shot to the toe will be there, and there we go. The final body shot. GG. Well played. A flawless grand final for SEC Wolfpack.
Yeah, a big win. St. Edmunds College, the champions here, without dropping a single round in the grand final. Absolutely unstoppable from start to finish. They put on a hell of a show, and they played some very, very good Rainbow Six Siege. Unfortunate for Trinity College, they just weren't able to pull it out of the bag in the end, but a much better map 2 than map 1.
Definitely. Look, it's just been an absolute thrashing, to say the very least. St. Edmunds, well-deserved dub for themselves, were able to pretty much just win it all out, just to make sure to keep it as clean as possible. 2 rounds that looked incredibly shaky, that could have gone absolutely wrong, but that was not the case. Still plenty of clutch power there remained for the players that were left alive, and there we go. The Season 2 champions, St. Edmunds, the Wolfpack, are the winners.
They do take it away. They do pick themselves up some lovely gaming gear off the back of it as well. Kazulu, we saw a pretty dominant season out of St. Edmunds College. They didn't drop a single mat. They didn't drop a single round in the grand finals. They are some real contenders. There are a couple of players in that roster who could definitely have a future in competitive Rainbow Six Siege when they get a little bit older, make it through into the likes of Challenger League, Pro League. Any number of situations could be up for grabs for them. But look, it's the end. High School League is done. St. Edmunds College crowned the kings. And I mean, what a way to do it.
Oh, yeah. 100%. That's probably one of the flashier ways to really do it. Just show off all of their skill, all of their prowess, all of the flexibility in their just awareness in the game. And look, quite an unfortunate turnout for TC Red. They had that whole underdog arc developing slowly but surely for them throughout the season, but unfortunately in the grand final they just fell and couldn't really get up, really. So with that said, not much to be described apart from the fact that it was an extremely dominant performance by St. Edmunds College. Hopefully we shall be seeing TC Red make a return next season and see themselves develop themselves a little bit more and give an even more contention to SEC Wolfpack.
That's exactly it. But for the High School League here in Season 2, we are done and dusted. The day, though, for XP Esports is not totally over. We have the Women's League come up in just a little bit, so if that's what you're here for, stick around. We'll be back soon. There's going to be a little bit of a break, but we'll be back later with the XP Esports Women's League Day 2 coming through. We'll see you very, very soon.
Enter into a new dimension of gaming and unlock your gaming experience. Powerful and portable, with uncompromised graphics performance. The way you play will never be the same.